Physics 1250, or the Physics of Aviation, has a lab experiment that is called coordinated turns. Not all stations are set up for this. Oh, that's interesting. There's volume. That's kind of cool. Thought I just saw a zoom in. Ooh, cool. So we just zoomed in. Right up there is a plug that rotates, and there's power supplied. There's a meter stick here because the students are going to look up and see when the plane goes across the meter stick and try to measure how far out it is from the rotation point. These are very, very expensive. Brad Busley installed these for me. He did a great job making the housing assembly to hold those current conducting rotators. So that's pretty cool. So the line goes down up through the ceiling, and yeah, this video will be a little bit longer than the others, and goes down here behind the computer. So let's go set that up. I'm going to, well, actually we don't need to move that. Sorry about that. Let me zoom back out. Oh no, how do I zoom out? There we go. There's zoom out, and there's my volume. So this is called a power amplifier. All we need to make sure is that the leads are properly plugged in there. The copper uncoated, uninsulated wire goes on the red, and then the coated one goes on the black. Just make sure those are secure connections with these binding posts. And then we're going to take the 8-pin DIN and plug it in over here into channel A. And there's a little divot that goes on top when we receive this into the interface box. So now the power amplifier is ready. We're going to go ahead and turn this on for the students so that things are ready for them, and we need to test all these as well. And then I'm going to turn this on right here, power on, and there should be a green light in front. I keep this box off to the side because we don't want the students or the rest of the semester turning them on or messing around with them. So we just keep it off to the side. Now we're going to attach the planes, and again, only 5 or 6 stations receive these setups. Inside this cabinet, we have our airplanes. And each airplane is carefully placed into the box, and the wire is gently coiled up. And somewhere in this room is a stool that we can use. For people who don't have the same height that I do, most days I'm 6'4". You might need to get the ladder out of the demo room next door. And this might be kind of hard with one hand. I'm trying to loosen this up. This cable's been gently coiled and then wrapped around once, and so it should just unwind very nicely. We don't want to ever kink this wire like I almost did. Okay. So now we've got this wire on here. If you look carefully, this is the receiver that gets plugged into that rotating current conductor. And these wires are soldered on here and then wrapped around for security purposes. But if someone pulls on this plane or on the wire, these are going to break. Brad Busley put these together. He did a very, very nice job. And now we're just going to bring this up here and put this into there, put it straight on, and a little bit of force straight up, and now it's applied, and it's hanging in there just nicely. And so there we go. There's our plane. Now, there's one at this station, station 34. There's one at station 33. There's one at station 32. And up in the front, there's one at station 38. And then back here to 36. And then over here at station 35. So it will have 5 or 6 planes set up. Now we're going to go ahead and log into the computer. Well, maybe. we're going to open up the, is my phone bleeping? After this computer logs in, we're going to open up the software and test this. Each system needs to be tested to make sure it's working well. It's kind of fun to test them. So after this logs in, if it logs in, boy, that'll be interesting. Changing this logo and maybe changing this name, Metropolitan State College of Denver, Department of Physics, to Denver State University, Department of Physics. And I guess we won't have an M here with a bird, but we might have something else. Hello? Wish I had a way to pause this video recording. Ah, there we go. On the computer on the desktop, there's a folder called Class Support. So we're going to go ahead and open up that folder. Computer's still warming up, I see. And I like to use this this third option here out of 4 to view things. It's column view. And we're going to go down here to Physics 1250, PHY 1250. What? That's goofy. Class Support, PHY 1250. There was a mistake there. Class Support, PHY 1250, coordinated turns. And there's a movie here about how to start the planes. And then there's a coordinated turn template. So we're going to open that up. Now beforehand we've turned on this box as well as the power amplifier back there. And now we see this screen, and down here at the bottom is our signal generator, and it's set at 1.7 volts. And I'm just going to hit start, and now we can see the voltage, the current, and a calculation for the power. And you can hear the sound of the plane. So, the way this goes, it goes in this direction. When you're facing the front of the room, take the plane to the left of the rotating point, and you're going to send it in this direction. And it's just a gentle, not even a tossed or push, it's just a nice smooth motion. And that was done very poorly. I'm trying to hold the camera. And it doesn't look like the plane's going to be too forgiving. Oh, there it goes. So it was pretty forgiving. Otherwise, I'd want to have a nice follow-through, just pushing it in a tangent line in that direction, just gently, because we don't want to apply very much tension to this string, which is a wire, double wire system, twisted around. And so this thing should stabilize. If I'm a little impatient, I can just come over here to the voltage and increase the voltage, but don't go above 2.8 volts, it says up here. So it's kind of better to step this down to 0.1 and then go up from there, because it defaults to 1 volt stepping, and so I changed it to 0.1. So I'm up at 2 volts. And I let this run for a couple minutes. And after it's done, I simply go up here and hit stop. And now it's turned off. I just let it spin around, the plane spin around until it's done. And then I double click here and go back to the 1.7 and hit return on the keyboard. And now it's back to the initial condition that the students need. So I've tested things and things look good. I've turned it off here, the stop button up here, and I've reset the voltage to 1.7 and hit return. And now things are back to how they were when I opened the template. And so we'll just leave it that way for the students because they'll be in here shortly. If it's going to be overnight, then I just simply log the computer out and shut off these 2 boxes, and they should be turned on for the class beforehand. And we don't want to grab this plane because that's going to create too much tension on the wires and break the joints up top or even at the plane itself. After it's slowed down to a nice point like that, we can just gently grab it and position it as such. The landing gear, believe it or not, is a switch. So if the landing gear is down, the motor will not come on. So that landing gear needs to be up. So there's our cool little planes. This is the physics version of the indoor airport. So that's the setup for... Oh, no, we're not done. I lied. I told you this was going to be a long video. A lot of important stuff and fragile stuff. I'm looking for a 1 meter stick. The students will need that for their measurements, just a 1 meter stick. And then at the front of the room, and I normally try to keep all these tracks off the table when we're setting up. Up here are stopwatches. So we want to get down a box, and uh-oh, nobody's gone through these. Those need to be gone through and batteries added. So this box already has batteries in all the stopwatches. So we need 6 of these, 1 per station that has an airplane hanging from the ceiling. And go ahead and leave this box here in case there's a problem with one of the stopwatches. They can get another one, but let's not leave both boxes. We don't want to wholesale these stopwatches. So we'll leave the other one up here, and we'll carefully close this up. All right, so there we have. Now we've finished setting up because we've taken a stopwatch. Can't you see it? And we've put it right here on the table, all ready for the students.